यस सर। आप ज्वाइन है सर, मैं आपको होस्ट बना देता
क्या हुआ ना, अभी हुआ, अभी ठीक है। सो अमोल जी, डॉक्टर रवि पांडे हैज ऑलरेडी ज्वाइंड, so
हूँ।
please ask someone, the concerned student, to introduce his profile to all the participants.
ओके, सो हु इज दिस पार्टिसिपेंट? आई थिंक
Sir, 28
Roll
member.
number 28.
यस मैम। यस, रोल
Sir,
नंबर।
join होगा क्या?
यस मैम, प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस रवि पांडे सर टू पार्टिसिपेंट्स।
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. On the behalf of HRDC Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, it is my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Ravi Pandey sir. Ravi Pandey sir is working as Research Establishment Officer at IIT Kanpur. He has 13 years of experience in domain work which involve IPR management, technology valuation, technology transfer, and startup incubation. He has informated the IPR policy, staff entrepreneurship, and faculty entrepreneurship policy of IIT Kanpur. He has been awarded awards such as Outstanding Performance Award by Startup India for promoting innovations, Impactful Technology Transfer Award by AUTM USA, and Master Trainer Award by the European Patent Office. He is a keynote speaker at several innovation and incubation seminars across different universities and institutes. We are honored to have him with us today for this online session. Now, I invite Ravi Pandey sir to share his insights. Sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible enough?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's audible. Yes,
Thank
sir.
Thank you so much for this kind introduction of mine. And I'm also thankful to Mr. Amit Ranjan for inviting me and all the other dignitaries and management of BAMU for inviting me and giving me a privilege to speak upon this topic, how to have action plan for startups. So I just wanted to ask a layman question. Uh, who is the audience? Is it the faculty members, the students, prospective entrepreneurs, or already existing startups?
Faculty member, sir.
Faculty member.
Faculty members.
Okay, okay. So, so I have a presentation which I tried to make it inclined towards the basics, but since faculty members are already involved, I would not. Just a minute, please. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Yes,
sir.
madam. So, earlier, I thought that I need to orient my or incline my presentation towards the basics. But since faculty members are already involved, so I would not depute much inclination towards the basics. Rather, I would directly jump to the logical conclusion of entrepreneurship and startup recognition and others. I have a small PPT that I wanted to share with all of you. Let me see if it is working or not. Share. Is So is my screen visible to all?
लोड हो रही सर, लोडिंग हो रही है, अभी
Yes.
दिखाई दी।
Yes, sir.
यस सर। Yes, sir. Visible. Visible.
Visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So first, let me ask this basic question, and I would like to make this session as interactive as possible. So can anyone answer me this question? Who is a intrapreneur? I'm not talking about ENTREPRENEUR. Rather, I'm asking this question, who is a intrapreneur? INTRAPRENEUR. Even if I get some answers after taking reference or some details from Google, that is also acceptable. But in order to make it interactive, I request if any of our participants give me a answer related to entrepreneurship. Okay, chat box answers I've started to receive. Okay, so Dr. Chandrakant has mentioned that it is a person who works in company but takes strategic decision. Very well said, sir. Dr. Chandrakant, very well said. Any other answers? Strategic decision. Yes, certainly.
Sir, a person who works in a company who has some innovative idea or who has done any innovative project, develop any innovative project.
Okay. Okay. So a person who basically works in a company, takes initiatives, works on innovative idea, and eventually becomes the intrapreneur. So can anyone tell me what is the difference between an intrapreneur or an entrepreneur? Yes, sir. Okay. So let us proceed ahead with the further parts of startups. But okay, I received an answer through chat mode. So uh, it is a person. So the last answer that I received, it is the person who works in a company but takes strategic decision. That is entrepreneur that we have already discussed. The same has been mentioned by Dr. Panjali and one more faculty member. An entrepreneur gets paid, but entrepreneur is getting yield. Okay. Okay. Asha Lipare intends to answer this question. Can we facilitate uh, unmuting options to Asha, Dr. Asha? Is there a possibility?
Sir, entrepreneur means who works in the existing company, and entrepreneur means who starts his own startup.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic, ma'am. Fantastic. So, Dr. Asha and Dr. Pranjali, so in case if you would like to make it more interactive and answer this basic questions, why is there a need for a faculty member to go through the such session like how to plan action, how to have action plan for startups? Why is there a need for that?
Because they can able to guide their students who is interested to have any new innovative idea.
Okay, this is one. Any other answers? Do we have engineering faculty members or faculty members from the science faculty, science department, any of the life sciences, fundamental physics, chemistry, bio? So, okay, let me answer this question. The main objective of such sessions and on a recurring basis, why the government or even the management of any educational institute is promoting entrepreneurship, action plan for startups. I apologize, the plan word has been mentioned twice. So the main intent is that the government intends to promote entrepreneurship and intends to produce human resource which is who is self-sustainable. The country does not want people who seek job. Rather, we would like to promote HR, which can provide jobs and services to other people. So this is the reason why I've asked this question. So another question is, can anyone answer me what is NISP, National Innovation Startup Policy? Has anyone heard about this? Or are faculty members along with their job positions, are they allowed to incorporate startup companies? Is there a possibility for that? Can anyone answer that? So let me answer this question. National Innovation Startup Policy 2019 was floated with by the then Ministry of Resources Development and now Minister of Education through AICT. The policy covers comprehensively all the universities and technical educational institutes, including but not limited to autonomous bodies like IITs, IIMs, NITs, ISER, ISC as well. What this NISP states is, in order to have action plan for startups, faculty members, along with their current job position, they can also incorporate a startup company. The main threshold requirement for having a startup company by a faculty member in either of the colleges or universities, they must have an idea. Idea could be a patent application in the form of patent application or a granted patent, or idea could be a know-how that is a trade secret or a simply black box. These are the threshold requirement for having a startup. In these cases, the normal routine job work should not suffer, and they can become a non-executive director of the company. So there are two types of director for incorporating a startup company, specifically a private limited company. Minimum two directors are required, and they can become a non-executive director. They can play a role in the management and the entire governing, the administration of the startup company, but they cannot seek any executive position like a chief executive officer or a chief operating officer or a manager or a technical officer, and they cannot take salary from the so and so company. Then there is a question that must be arising, sir, if you cannot take salary or additional any monetary proceeds from the company, then what is the objective of incorporating a company? The main objective of incorporating a company by a faculty member is that you can do the translational effort. Illustratively, I would like to explain this. You have developed something in your laboratory and you intend to see it as a product and available as a product in the market, and would like to transform it from the ideation to prototype to a product. For that purpose, you think that you have already reached a certain threshold in your laboratory, but this threshold would not suffice your requirement. Hello. Roll number 75, can I request you to mute yourself? Okay. Um, okay. Okay. Uh, I would not go on the entrepreneurship or innovation, or these are the very basic things that have already been discussed by and answered by Dr. Panjali and Dr. Asha. But I would like to take it to the basic of this startup and entrepreneurship. Can anyone answer me the four or the five pillars which are responsible for a nation to sustain itself in and increase its growth rate as well? Can we have such answer from any of the faculty members? Has anyone heard about this economy, infrastructure, system, demography, and demand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Roll number 18 has answered. Okay, so can we get the answer? Can we give him the privilege to unmute himself?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, sir.
What, sir? Economy.
You're on mute, sir.
Yes. When there is a demand, there is supply, sir. So economics is one of the part.
Okay. So this demand and supply, basically manufacturing or the production by a unit and manufacturing to the specific sector, it basically promotes the innovation. It promotes the R&D, because the R&D research and development eventually gets translated into manufacturing. And when the manufacturing is increasing by indigenous technology, that means we are not reliant on not relying on technologies which has been imported. Imported technology means our weaker R&D and the weaker currency of a company. And when the currency is weak, it is quite certain that the GDP cannot increase in a double-digit growth. So these are the specific reasons why one needs to understand why such pillars are required. And the basic units of such pillars initiates or starts from an academic institute only, because we as a faculty member, we are training our students, we are training tomorrow's students. And had it been a case where a faculty member himself takes an initiative for incorporating a startup company, then it is more like a success story. All your proteges and all your students would be following you in order to proceed ahead and start further companies. Can you imagine a batch of 60 students who decide, wherein 50% of the students, say 30 students, decide that they would like to proceed ahead by incorporating a startup company, and they would like to defer the campus placement program. So they are not only leaving the space for 30 more students to get those job positions, but they themselves, if 30 startup companies are being incorporated, and on an average, if one startup is giving job employment option to 3 or 4 students, can you imagine it is going to be 120 livelihood options for 120 people. So these are the advantages for startups. And such policy frameworks which are available, for example, the IPR policy 2016, which states that faculty member incorporating a startup company, or even educational institutions filing a patent application for further translational purposes, they will be given a rebate of 80% on the official filing fee. And for startup companies, there is a tax waiver of 3 years, first 3 years, and also tax waiver on the angel investment. Certain other privileges, for example, in case if you have a MSME Udyam card registration, then in that case, if one is filing patent application as a faculty member or as a startup company, he or she is going to get a reimbursement of up to 1 lakh rupees for his or her patent application being filed by a startup company, and up to 5 lakh rupees of reimbursement for a foreign patent application filed. So there are a number of privileges being provided to startup companies. But where is the idea, how one is supposed to incorporate or initiate the startup concept? So that comes from within the classrooms, within the laboratories, research groups, wherein faculty members are giving a problem statement and students are working on so and so solutions in order to in pursuit of solutions. They bring something which can be translated further into the form of a product. So these are the reasons why I've been asking this question: what is a startup? What is entrepreneurship? What is entrepreneurship? I'm quite sure that BAMU Incubation Center also provides the same kind of privileges to all students, faculty members, and even staff. And it may be open for all, wherein even non-BAMU students and faculty members can apply for grants and funds and explore funds and grant options from the incubation center. So being a faculty member, if you have an idea which can be translated, why not take advantage of such schemes which are available with the incubation center? And I'm quite sure that the current CEO must be willing to assist and handhold the startups in not only in the incorporation, but also in proceeding ahead and reaching this milestone, or even scaling up the technology and making a market presence. These are the current scenarios. I just wanted to add, other than my introduction, that I come from SIIC Incubation Center, IIT Kanpur. S stands for Startup Incubation and Innovation Center, IIT Kanpur. We are the #1 startup incubation center in the country. Our space in terms of the floor space that we have, it stands at 5 lakh square feet. We have multiple offices. One is in IIT Kanpur within the campus. Second is in Sector 62, Noida. We are the only incubation center in the country to provide residential accommodation space to startups and incubatees. Also provide a ready to move in office space for startups. So if startup has an idea and they do not have the funding options, we provide them just the keys to go ahead and explore what are the best options for them in order to make product and make revenues. In lieu of all these facilities, what we charge is some equity in case if they make a very good business in the future. When this exit from the equity happens, we charge some 3% of the gross equity, up to 3%. So these these success stories can be adopted by BMU. I'm quite sure that BMU itself has several success stories which are ongoing. We often go through the news articles and the social media details which are being disseminated by the incubation center. But if IIT Kanpur students and faculty members are doing, why not faculty members from BAMU? So that is my take on this. I would not spend much time on the basics of this technology, but I would like to, okay, I would not, would prefer to leave this section because this has already been discussed. But still, I would like to ask this question from any of the faculty member. Sir, sir or madam, can anyone answer this question? When I say entrepreneurship and when I say entrepreneurship, is there a possibility that a faculty member teaching in a college or in a university, uh, whether he or she would be called as an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur if he or she is incorporating a startup company? Can anyone answer this question? My question is, a faculty member, along with his or her job position, is incorporating a startup company. So would he or she be called as an entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur?
Sir, he would be called as entrepreneur
And why is that?
because, sir, in entrepreneurs, he has his own resources, not for company resources. He may be in
Okay.
work independently. So in
Okay.
company in entrepreneurship, there is a dependency, na. That's why I feel.
Fantastic, fantastic answer. He has already mentioned that it is going to be an entrepreneur and not intrapreneur, because intrapreneur is the one usually who does not segregates the enterprise level, while in the case of entrepreneurship, a faculty member is incorporating a startup company wherein the startup company itself is an individual entity and is independent of any parent organization. So this is a fantastic answer that sir has given. Uh, I have another question which is very much important for those faculty members who intend to incorporate a startup company. Can anyone answer me what is this PRFAQ, if anyone can answer, and how is this related to Amazon? Any answers? Okay, Dr. Asha Lipare intends to answer this question. I request the admin to please unmute her.
Who want to speak? Please tell.
डॉक्टर आशा आशा लिपारे शायद कुछ बोलना चाहती हैं। उन्होंने रिक्वेस्ट भी किया अनम्यूट करने के लिए। आई एम अनेबल टू सी हर, और आई वुड हैव द पार्टिसिपेंट्स।
I'm also seeing, but in chat.
Asha Lipare, okay. Asked to unmute. Yes, Asha madam, you need to unmute yourself.
यस सर, थैंक यू सर। सर आपने पूछा था कि PRFAQ का मीनिंग क्या रहेगा सर? दैट इज अ प्रिलिमिनरी
Yes, ma'am.
रिपोर्ट एंड फ्रीक्वेंसी आस्क क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड हाउ टू स्टार्ट दैट आइडियाज एंड ऑल थिंग्स सर, आई गेस।
ओके, आपका आंसर सही है, बट आपसे थोड़ा
हाँ
रिक्वेस्ट होगी अगर आप हमारे सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कर पाएं ये PRFAQ क्या होता है और इसका रेलेवेंस हमारे करंट आज के जो फैकल्टी मेंबर्स हैं
सर,
या किसी भी
यस
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन।
यस यस
जी,
सर, यस सर, आई कैन, यस सर, यस सर। अभी प्रिलिमिनरी रिपोर्ट फ्रीक्वेंसी आस्क आस्क क्वेश्चन का सर मीनिंग रहता है कि आप कोई भी प्लान एग्जीक्यूट करना चाहते हो या कोई भी आइडिया रन करना चाहते हो, तो उसके लिए आपको प्रिलिमिनरी लेवल पे यानी कि प्राइमरी लेवल पे सब डेटा कलेक्ट करना है कि हाउ कैन यू कैन एग्जीक्यूट ऑल दीज प्लान एंड व्हाट आर द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स। यानी कि आपका बजट रहेगा या कैपिटल रहेगा या आपका लेबर रहेगा, जो भी आप करना चाहते हो, आपके रिसोर्सेज आप कैसे प्लान कर रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो, उसके ऊपर आप पहले प्लान करोगे पूरा। इट इज अ प्रिलिमिनरी रिपोर्ट रहेगा पूरा, जैसे हमारा प्री टेस्ट रहता है किसी एग्जाम से, फाइनल एग्जाम से पहले, उसी टाइप का वो क्वेश्चन प्रिलिमिनरी रिपोर्ट रहता है पूरा। और उसमें फ्रिक्वेंटली आस्क क्वेश्चन जो होते हैं कि व्हेन, हाउ और कैसे एग्जीक्यूट करना है, उस टाइप का सर मेन उसमें सर कंटेंट और क्वेश्चन रहते हैं सर, जो भी है सर, आई गेस सर।
ओके मैडम, आपका
उसमें
आंसर तो बिल्कुल सही है।
हम्म,
जी, इसमें
यस
एक
सर।
प्रश्न बस ये है कि आ, ये फैकल्टी मेंबर्स के लिए कैसे रेलेवेंट है जो हमारा PRFAQ है?
फैकल्टी मेंबर के लिए सर वो भी नहीं सर, वो नहीं नहीं पता है सर, एक्चुअली सर, सॉरी सर।
नहीं, नहीं। आपने पहला जवाब तो बहुत ही बढ़िया दिया। आपने
यस
कहा है
सर,
PRFAQ जो कि प्रिलिमिनरी। तो
यस सर,
इसमें क्या होता है कि फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क क्वेश्चंस का मैं इसका पूरा आपको स्टेप बाय स्टेप बता देता हूँ।
यस सर,
amazon अपने सारे जितने भी वर्कर्स होते हैं उसमें क्वार्टरली, मंथली और फोर्टनाइटली एक मीटिंग करता है, जिस जो कि मीटिंग एक यूनिट वाइज भी हो सकती है, रीजनल वाइज भी हो सकती है, नेशनल वाइज भी हो सकती है। वहाँ पे सारे एम्प्लॉयज को ये PRFAQ फॉर्म दिया जाता है, ठीक है, जो प्रिलिमिनरी फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस हैं। और इस फॉर्म में ये कहा जाता है कि एक आइडिया बनाइए और आइडिया के लिए आप एक प्रेस रिलीज और एक फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस की एक पूरी समरी बना डालिए। अब उसमें क्या होता है कि उस आइडिया में आपको ये बताना है कि ये मेरा आइडिया है, ये अमेजोन की तरफ से अगर लॉन्च होता है एज अ प्रोडक्ट और या एज अ सर्विस, तो इसकी प्रेस रिलीज ये होगी, इसके फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस ये होंगे और इस आइडिया के ऊपर ये चीज़ें होंगी, एडवांटेजेस हैं, ये डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं और ये भविष्य में आता है, तो इस तरह का ये एक ऑप्शन होगा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को आगे बढ़ाने का। ये प्रक्रिया के लिए वो फोर्टनाइटली बैठते हैं, सबको ऑप्शन देते हैं फ्रीक्वेंटली, आप अपनी बात को इजिली इस तरह से आगे रख सकते हैं। और इसका मुख्य उद्देश्य होता है कि भविष्य में कोई प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च हो रहा है तो ये आपकी प्रेस रिलीज कैसी होगी, और मान लीजिए कोई लेमैन पूछता है कि ये कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी, तो फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चन आपके पास आंसर होने चाहिए। और इसमें कस्टमर्स बेनिफिट क्या होंगे? अब आप यू मस्ट बी वेंडरिंग कि अमेजोन के पास तो इतने सारे आइडियाज होते हैं, उनको सारे एम्प्लॉयज को ये इस तरह का PRFAQ फॉर्म देने की क्या जरूरत है? तो मैडम आंसर ये है कि हम आज की डेट में ये एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि थिंक आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स, जो हमारी आइडियोलॉजी है जिसको कि हम प्रमोट करना चाह रहे हैं, कि आप लीक से हट करके सोचिए क्या वो संभव है अगर हम थ्रू प्रॉपर चैनल ही हर बार आइडियाज को प्रमोट करते रहें। तो उसके लिए ऐसी कुछ स्ट्रैटेजीज हमें चाहिए होंगी जो कि स्टार्टअप एक्शन प्लान के तहत आती हों। PRFAQ एक प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की तरफ से बहुत ही बढ़िया इनिशिएटिव है, जिसमें कि प्रोडक्ट्स, नए प्रोडक्ट के लॉन्चेस से संबंधित वो प्रेस रिलीजेस और फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हैं और कस्टमर बेनिफिट्स पूछ रहे हैं। इन्हीं PRFAQ के चलते ही बहुत सारी ऐसी सर्विसेज हैं, जो कि अमेजोन पे हो गया, उसके अलावा आपका क्या कहते हैं एलेक्सा हो गया, उसके अलावा अगर आप देखें तो आज की डेट में AWS के जो क्या कहते हैं आपको सर्विसेज हो गई, क्लाउड सर्विसेज हो गई, ये सारी की सारी सर्विसेज किसी ने एक बार एज अ ब्रेन चाइल्ड, एज अ कंसेप्शलाइज किया था और आज की डेट में ये उपलब्ध है। अब जो सेकंड क्वेश्चन था क्या इसका रिलेवेंस है फैकल्टी मेंबर्स के लिए, तो मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि क्यों नहीं हम ऐसी इस तरह की मीटिंग्स करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स के साथ और इस तरह के फैकल्टी मेंबर्स के साथ, जहाँ पे हम एग्जिस्टिंग जो हमारी पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क हो, चाहे कोई प्रॉब्लम्स हो जो कि रिकरिंग बेसिस पे आ रही हो, उन पे हम सॉल्यूशंस ढूंढें, या इवन हमारे रिसर्च ग्रुप या हमारी लैबोरेटरी बेस में ऐसे आउटकम या ऐसे सॉल्यूशंस उपलब्ध हैं जिनको कि हम स्टार्टअप के माध्यम से आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं। तो ये PRFAQ है। मेरा ये कहना है क्यों नहीं फैकल्टी लेड प्लान इसका नाम रखा जाए, FLP, और या फिर क्या कहते हैं फैकल्टी FSP, फैकल्टी स्टार्टअप प्लान नाम का इस तरह की एक मीटिंग हो जो कि फोर्टनाइटली या मंथली, क्वार्टरली या 6 मंथली हो, जहाँ पे कि इस तरह के गूगल फॉर्म सर्कुलेट किए जाएं और उनका जो इवेंचुअल आउटकम हो उसको एक दूसरे को हमें एक शॉर्ट मीटिंग में, क्लोज डोर मीटिंग में या ओपन डोर मीटिंग में इस तरह के डिस्कशंस हो। इसका आउटकम ये होगा कि बहुत सारे आइडियाज आएंगे। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा, या अमेजोन ये नहीं कह रहा कि ये सारे PRFAQ फॉर्म्स जो होते हैं, ये आइडियाज होते हैं, ये रेलिवेंट होते हैं। बहुत सारे ऐसे होते हैं जो कि इरेलीवेंट भी होते हैं, बट कुछ तो हमारे पास ऐसे आएंगे जो कि रिलेवेंट होंगे और जिनको कि देखा जा सकता है, जो कि सोसाइटी की बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट्स को सॉल्व करेंगे। उसके अलावा ऐसी स्टार्टअप्स उभर करके आएंगी जो कि रेवेन्यू बनाएंगे, और ये जो हमारा जॉब सीकर वाला जो प्रॉब्लम है जो कि हमारी ग्रोथ रेट को कम कर रहा है, इस तरह के प्रेशर को भी डिमिनिश करते हैं। तो आज के हम स्टार्टअप के उसमें मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा, जितने भी हमारे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स या इवन अगर स्टूडेंट्स हैं, प्लीज़ डू स्टार्ट दिस इनिशिएटिव एट योर लेवल। मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, क्या आपके इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर में इस तरह के कोई इनिशिएटिव्स चल रहे हैं? क्या हम इस तरह का कोई एक PRFAQ या फैकल्टी स्टार्टअप प्लान FSP का इस तरह का कोई इनिशिएटिव ले सकते हैं? मैं ये जानना चाहूँगा आप सबसे।
जी सर, हम लोग अभी फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम स्पॉन्सर्ड है हमारा DST से, NSTDEB के तरफ से।
जी
तो लास्ट ईयर भी हमने ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स कराया था फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट के लिए। इस साल भी हम पूरे साल में अभी हमें 2 प्रोग्राम्स करना है फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट का, तो जो कि हम मई से हम शुरू करेंगे, जिसमें फैकल्टीज को एनकरेज करने के लिए कि इनोवेशन के तरफ हम कैसे आ सकें, and how they can support the startup ecosystem and the startups which are incubated in our center with their academic expertise.
ओके, ठीक है, ठीक है। और तो अमित जी, कुछ ऐसे सक्सेस स्टोरीज अगर आपके यहाँ हो ऑलरेडी, तो वी सर्टेनली वुड लाइक टू गो थ्रू सच सक्सेस स्टोरीज जहाँ पे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स ने प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया है या इवन लैब में ट्रांसलेट करके टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर के लेवल तक गए हैं, क्योंकि इस तरह की सक्सेस स्टोरीज बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट होंगी अदर्स को मोटिवेट करने के लिए। और एक बार भी ऐसी सक्सेस स्टोरी अगर आ जाती है तो मोटिवेशन के लिए हमें नहीं लगता है कि हमें किसी और इनिशिएटिव या इस तरह के रिकरिंग प्रोग्राम्स की उतनी ज़्यादा ज़रूरत होगी। वन सक्सेस स्टोरी वुड सफाइज द रिक्वायरमेंट। तो मुझे लगता है कि एक एक दो ऐसी सक्सेस स्टोरीज आएँ, और अगर आप भविष्य में ऐसा समय देते हैं तो मैं कुछ सक्सेस स्टोरीज जरूर लेकर के आऊँगा जो कि हमारे संस्थान से फैकल्टी मेंबर्स के द्वारा एज अ प्रोडक्ट और रेवेन्यू जनरेशन मोड में है। सो
जी बिल्कुल सर। हमारे यहाँ पे भी जो मैक्सिमम स्टार्टअप्स हैं वो बाहर से, मींस औरंगाबाद सिटी के जनरेशन 1 या जनरेशन 4 एंटरप्रेन्योर्स से एनकरेज किए हुए हैं। और
जी
जो हमारे फैकल्टीज हैं और जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनसे आइडिया बेस्ड स्टार्टअप हमारे पास है, आते हैं।
जी।
हमारे रीजन में एक थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ ये है कि faculties are not allowed to start their companies.
अच्छा,
uh,
आई थिंक NISP के तो अंडर में आता है, अगर BMU भी देखे, सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी भी अगर है या स्टेट भी है,
हाँ,
तो वो whenever there is a
तो
conflict of interest between the state and legislation, the central shall supersede. That is my understanding.
yes.
तो NISP तो शायद वो हो सकती है।
So that is why we means university is in process now to set up its own that startup policy for the university and the faculties.
ओके।
So I think in next couple of months that part will be completed, and then we can start that programs with our faculties.
Okay. Okay. ठीक है fantastic case. If I could be of any help to you, because I drafted the faculty entrepreneurship policy way before the
Yeah.
NISP 2019,
Yes.
and यहाँ technology transfer policy और student entrepreneurship policy भी maybe I was part of the same. So let me know. I would be happy to handhold any developmental part, and we can have more and more success stories. So with this, I would like to move on from the current page to the next page. Uh, I brought two images in front of your screen. Can you see this? One is a boot, another is a cylindrical device wherein mobile phone has been switched on. So let me start with this cylindrical device, then we will move on to this the boot. So the cylindrical device that you see in front of your screen has been developed as a solution to the problem that the farmers are facing currently. That is the health card of the health report of of the soil in their fields or farms. So on recurring basis, what happens is the farmer has to collect the soil samples from four corners of the field, mix it, cut it, send a half kg of sample to the district soil testing laboratory. It the solution or the result comes out after a fortnight period, wherein if the same solution or the same soil sample gets interchanged with someone else's soil sample, then the report also comes out to be faulty nature. And what happens eventually is when you need nitrogen, you would be putting phosphorus in your field and vice versa, and the outcome yield would be poor. So, considering this problem, faculty member Professor Jayant K. Singh from Department of Chemical Engineering has developed an invention which is based on near infrared spectroscopy. So, infrared rays, they strike the soil sample, and there is a different reflection pattern when there is a high content or a low content of a specific macronutrients like carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, cation exchange. So considering this common activity and based on this NIR principle, this invention was developed. And Professor Jayant was quite sure that this is going to revolutionize the agricultural activity. So he handholded another startup company, that is Scan Genie Private Limited, run by Mr. Rajat Vardhan. And he transferred the technology to so and so company with an objective that the same would solve the major or the solve the problem for the masses. So since then, 2020, we have sold somewhere around 600 units of this uh, technology or the soil testing device that you see in front of your screen. One only needs a spoonful of soil sample, having a minimum of 10% moisture in the soil sample, and upon switching it on the machine, the results gets displayed on your mobile phone, and you can share these results and with anyone over WhatsApp or email. And also not only the solution or the results of the soil testing, but it also showcases what kind of crop could be sown in so and so field, what kind of fertilizers are required in order to increase the yield of the crop. So one can understand what is the power of an academic institution translating so and so ideas. So if one can do it, I think the second could be BAMU as well. And this was initially started as an MTech thesis project, and MTech students have graduated over the same problem statement. One PhD students has graduated, and I think we are good to go ahead with this. The second is a seed sowing boot. Another problem is there that we have very small land pocket sizes in the agricultural field size, and large farm machinery cannot enter such places. So for that, someone has developed a seed sowing boot wherein the pouch is wound on your waist side, and through pipe the seeds can be transferred from the pouch to the boot. And the moment a farmer takes one step, a hole gets drilled in the soil and a seed gets released, and as soon as the farmer moves on, the same hole gets closed. So this is the kind of solution which was thought by someone, and the same, it was a mechanical engineering invention wherein you see one can solve a problem which is related to agriculture and not related to mechanical. So one can think from different perspective, intra or interdisciplinary researches can be done nowadays. More and more such initiatives are being done, wherein the emphasis is on to develop such and such initiatives or inventions. Another such initiative is wherein we felt that engineering domain alone is not sufficient for the development of inventions to a product level. So we collaborated with the King George in Medical University in Lucknow, wherein the problem statements were provided by the medical university and the solutions were made by the doctors as well as the engineers. We made 5 teams. Each team consisted of 3 engineers and 2 doctors, and we have given them real time problems which were faced by the surgeons and the clinicians. And this hackathon went for 10 days of time, and after 10 days of time, the teams came up with so and so solutions, and the team consisted of not only students but also faculty member in the position of a mentor. So these real solutions that you see in front of your screen were an outcome of the hackathon organized by us, and few of them are already available in the market in the form of a product. So you can imagine what is the relevance of having entrepreneurship from the academic institution, wherein you can solve real time, real world problem statements. On the TRL side, I just wanted to mention, can anyone answer me what is TRL? How it is relevant to entrepreneurship or to startup? Has anyone heard of this terminology, TRL? Okay, let me tell you the full form of TRL, technology readiness level. Who has heard this term earlier?
No.
Sorry.
Sir, I have not heard, but you are telling now, so we will listen. TRL level.
Okay, so TRL level was basically discovered or invented by NASA, National American Space Agency. Their main objective was that whenever they were about to launch the rocket, they were sourcing components from different shops or different departments of NASA. And whenever they were asking what is the level of development of so and so component, so the answer was that it is almost ready. So one cannot simply interpret what does it is almost ready means. So they developed this scale, the way a person can measure his or her weight, the way a person can measure his or her height. In a similar fashion, one can simply measure what scale or what level a technology is. So for laymen like me, let me elaborate on what is TRL1 and what is TRL9. So TRL1 is when you have simply conceptualized an idea. You have simply thought about an idea, and this is TRL1. You simply designed and developed something and fabricated a alpha prototype, that is TRL4. You transferred the technology, something which has been validated to an industry, that is technology transfer. You already have something as a product which can be sold in the market, that is TRL9. So TRL1 is idea, TRL4 is prototype, TRL9 is product. I hope I'm quite clear on this and how it is relevant from the startup. One needs to understand that life cycle of a technology is very important for incorporating a startup or even for doing a technology transfer. Because if I offer you a mobile phone which is 20 years old, you would not accept it. But you need to understand that if you are taking more and more time in fabricating and developing or validating your technology, you are compromising on the chances of your technology seeing the light of the day. So it is very important that you expedite your process of development of your invention and the process of validation of your invention. That would eventually safeguard your some time, and you will have more and more higher probability in transferring the technology or higher probability in launching the product from your startup company. Uh, Last but not the least, doing all these things, we have filed several patent applications for the startups, for the faculty member, and for the students. This page is not updated. It's not 750, it's 1200 patents till date. And we have transferred around 160 technologies to so far. And we have around 400 startup companies, wherein 200 have graduated and 200 are currently incubated. Our current equity worth stands at INR 10,000 crore. We are sector agnostic. We have various sectors, including but not limited to artificial intelligence, IoT, life sciences, biotechnology, nanosciences, etc. We have been commended at various forums at national and international levels, and these are our accomplishments that we claim so far now. And that's how we have reached this level of 400 startups or 400 plus startups so far. These are, most of them are young students or even young faculty members or mid-level faculty members who have been doing this on recurring basis. 10 of our incubators have raised level A series of funding. So this is the level at which we are operating right now. We have faculty members who are not only thinking about the high impact journals, but also thinking from the translational or the or this uh, uh, conversion of ideation to a product ideology. And we have been successful a number of times. That's all from my side. In case if there are any queries from the participants, I would be happy to answer that query. Can we have some questions? I think I received a message from someone. Press release and frequently asked question. I mean, that is done. I mean, PRFAQ was part of a startup plan. Thank you, Mr. Roll number 52. It's really nice, encouraging session, sir. Thank you. If there are any questions, I would be happy to answer those questions. Assuming there are no more questions, I would like to say thank you. And I request Amit Ranjanji to please come forward. And I think we are almost done with this. If there are any questions, you can facilitate the same, or else we can conclude the current session. Amit Ranjanji. Yes, ma'am.
किसी को कुछ पूछना है क्या? हेलो, ठीक है, वोट ऑफ थैंक्स देते। किसी को कुछ पूछना है क्या? So on the behalf of HRDC, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Ravi Pandey sir for sharing his valuable time and sharing his deep insights on IPR management technology
जी, आई थिंक
transfer.
सर का सेशन खत्म हो गया है। अभी अगर क्वेश्चंस हैं तो we can go for the question answer session.
हेलो
यस अमित सर, अभी कोई किसी प्रतिभा के कोई प्रश्न नहीं है, सो आई रिक्वेस्ट टू पार्टिसिपेंट्स प्रपोज द वोट ऑफ थैंक्स.
ओके सर. On the behalf of HRDC Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar,
Amol,
I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Ravi Pandey sir for sparing his valuable time and sharing his deep insights on IPR management, technology transfer, and startup incubation. His expertise and experience have set a strong foundation for future discussion
किसका?
in this field. I would also like
तूने
to
कर दिया?
thank
कम हो गया वो?
our director for maintaining a smooth and engaging session. And a big thank you to all the participants for your active involvement and interest in this session. Your questions and discussion have made this event more informative and interesting. We hope to conclude this session. Thank you, everyone.
It was my pleasure as well, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.